Once you've added automation, you'll often find that you need to make changes. Let's take a look at how you can edit automation in Live. So I've got exercise 2 from chapter 12 open, and I've got some automation on this clip that we see here in arrangement view. So there are several ways to adjust automation. First of all, we can always click any one of the breakpoints or nodes and click and drag that up or down or right or left to change its location. If you find that you need to move that by fine increment, you can always add shift as you move that, and now you can see that we're going in much, much smaller increments. If you need to delete a breakpoint, there's several ways to do that. We can just click a breakpoint once to get rid of it. If you want to get rid of several breakpoints, you can click select a breakpoint and you can drag right or left to wipe that automation. And you can see that as I bring it back, that automation is still there and we can recover it. Another thing that we can do is select a range of automation and just hit the delete key, and that range will go away. Now, something that you'll want to do often will be to take some existing automation and make it softer or louder. And we refer to that as trimming the automation. So in Ableton Live, all you need to do is select a range and then hover your mouse near the automation until you see that blue line appear. And then at that point, you can click and drag up or down to trim that automation up or down. Now, as I go all the way to the top, you'll see that it'll eventually get flat. But as I pull it back down, we'll recover that contour that was there. Now, there's some really interesting ways that we can modify this in Ableton that you don't normally see in other programs. One of those is if you make a selection and then hover your mouse near the edge of that selection, you'll see these little handles appear on the corners and in the middle. Now, if we grab one of the ones that's in the middle on the top or bottom side and we click and we drag up or down, you'll notice that we can compress the automation. And we can either do that from the top or the bottom. Similarly, on the side, if we go to the ones that are in the middle on the sides, we can compress the automation going left and right. Do the same thing from the other side if necessary. Where it really gets interesting, though, is when you hover your mouse and grab one of the ones in the corner. And that allows us to kind of compress and skew it in a downwards way or in an upwards way if I grab it from the bottom. And then as we do this, if you hold down your Option or Alt key, it will actually skew from both corners at once. Now, if you find that you need to move a range, we can also make a selection. And then if you hover your mouse near the right or left side of that selection and click, we can drag it right or left. And notice that we're not moving the clip there. Now, if you hold your Shift key down while you do this, it will ensure that your move is only horizontal and not up or down. Now, we can also move that automation or nudge it using our arrow keys. So with that same selection made, I'll press my right arrow key, and you'll notice that it's moving by the grid amount as I do that. Now, if I disable the grid by pressing Command 4, I can still nudge it, but now it's nudging by a very small amount, and that depends upon your zoom level. Let me undo that, and I'll re-enable the grid. So we might want to move that automation with the clip, and we can do that as well. Let me zoom back out. Let me hit my minus key so we can see more space here. And this time I'm going to grab the clip at the top, and I'm going to just move it. And notice that when I let go, the automation went with it. Now we can also move the clip without moving the underlying automation. And that we can do by enabling this Lock Envelopes button. When that's enabled, automation will not move. And so if I grab this clip and move it, notice that when I let go, the automation is still in the original location. Now we can also copy and paste clips and have it include the automation. So if I select this clip by clicking on the title of the clip, I can Command C, I can move my cursor over, and I can Command V to paste it. Obviously that would be Control C and Control V on a PC. I can also copy and paste the clip using the duplicate command, and that will also include the automation. And finally, if I want to, I can also just select the automation and copy and paste that. So instead of grabbing at the clip nameplate, if I go down and make a selection within the clip on the lower half, I can Command C and then move my cursor over to where I want to paste it, and Command V to paste it at that new location. Now we can tell that I didn't actually copy the underlying clip because I still see only a single clip here, and this one's named Buzzbass 2, and that one's named Buzzbass 1. So the last thing I want to show you is that we can actually audition another setting for this parameter. And I can do that by just going over to the volume field here and clicking and making a change. Now, when I do that, I want to point out that we now see a dotted line for automation, but we also see this white line and the old automation. So what we're hearing now is the new setting. So we can play the clip, hear how it works, and if we don't like it, you can always go back up to the control bar here and click the Re-enable Automation button. And any automation envelopes that have been manually adjusted will go back to their previous state as soon as you click that. So as you can see, the automation editing features in Live are comprehensive and allow you to fine-tune your automation as you work towards finishing a project.